people say I'm too busy, then don't run a company.
Oh,
Literally,
yeah.
because you want to be, there's no such thing as too busy. You can always find time.
I never complain about it. But
right, me either, right? And I was like, those are some of the silliest words I've ever heard. Because there are people out there who don't have any work, no money. They would love to have your prom, and maybe you shouldn't be taking all the clients if you're too busy to do your job at its highest level, right?
That's correct.
A lot of times I hear that this is too good to be true.
Yeah, that's what kind of sounds.
But it's not. And here's it even gets better. There's no enrollment fees, and we don't enter you into a contract.
Everybody has a gorgeous voice. They just have to learn how to use it. And so it's a very holistic, loving, compassionate approach to vocal training.
I am sitting here with Laura Handke, and she calls herself, let me get this right. I want to get this correct. I want to get the name of the town correct, too. Is it Lake Oswego, Laura?
Yes.
And welcome to the show, Laura.
Yes.
This is Laura.
Thank you, Chris.
As the spring market starts to flow, we will be blossoming. It is still busy, even though it's winter, which is typically our slow time, because the interest rates are still pretty low.
Oh, wow. Chris, can you tell her how to contact us? Because I'd really love to talk to her.
Well, first of all, you need to sit down with somebody and look at what they're already doing in their life. And that's like the key, because it's really big time lifestyle. When I was in nursing school in the 1970s, we didn't even know about type 2 diabetes. It was barely spoken of. And it's really well known to be a disease of lifestyle.
That this is a magnanimous moment as it relates to economic policy. From any perspective you can think about it, this is truly a remarkable moment in our time as we start thinking about what truly, from an economic standpoint, is our best interest.
For a long time now, we've had the 30 under 30, 40 under 40, the young entrepreneurs that have attained a great level of success. And I think it's fantastic to be wildly successful at a young age.
Right.
But let's not forget, the 50 over 50 or 60 over 60 that have this world of experience that's still viable, that's still valuable, and to stay away from the whole comparison-itis thing.
Eleni Anastos is a business strategist and prosperity coach. I am fascinated by your story. First of all, what is an in-motion coach?
The point is, whatever we want to have in life, we need to do something about that.
Right.
So we need to be in motion.
Oh, that's good. I love that. I hadn't thought of it that way.
If we're talking about personal branding, some of your own personal experience, because your DNA, Chris, cannot be replicated.
No.
Mine can't be replicated either, at least not now, not yet. But our experiences are unique and individual to us, which means there's someone out there who has not experienced them and can probably benefit from what you have to say.
But I get excited because going live is where it's at, right, Chris?
I agree. I go live as much as I can. I have scheduled live broadcasts twice a week.
Because if you smile, people can hear it in your voice, and it's warmer to people.
They're on their phone and say they're on Facebook, and they're doing this. Da, 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 da. Oh, that looks good. Oh, that sucks. That's what people do.
Exactly. So what do we need to do by going live? We're stopping the scroll.
Take me through maybe a process of how you would get me to the Caribbean islands.
So the first thing we would do is have a conversation, you and I would try to narrow down, what are your interests? What do you like? What are you looking to do on your vacation? Because the Caribbean islands is a vast amount of islands. So who's going? What are the ages? And what your interests are? What was your best vacation that you've had to date? Mm-hmm. And that'll give me an idea of what you're kind of looking for. Are you looking for a place that offers a lot of on-resort activities? Are you looking to really kind of get off resort and hike and explore? Do you scuba dive? Do you like the water? Are you a pool person versus the ocean? Do you swim? There's all those complexes that add to the enjoyment of your vacation.
We don't receive any government money at all. No government funding at any level except for a normal membership fee that we would put out to anybody. But being president of the chamber is a humbling experience, and it gets me out of bed every day with an extra step, extra vigor to go out there and advocate. There's a lot going on, as you know. So we advocate at every level of government. We also educate our members we connect them, and we collaborate. Those are our 4 pillars, Chris.
Mm-hmm. Say those again, because those are good. Say it again.
Yeah, advocacy, education, connection, and collaboration.
Wow. You can't get much more awesome than that. I mean,
bang for your buck, Chris. Bang for your buck.
That's right. Where the children came and drew all their little messages about saving the planet and all that. So
Well,
that was fascinating to see.
I appreciate you mentioning that, Chris, and the fact that you came out. And if I may, I'd just like to make a very brief comment about that. Is we obviously, as PR people, we look at calendar events that are coming up to find ways to get our clients exposure in the media. And with Earth Day coming around the corner, we just felt an obligation as a PR agency exclusively designed and focused on supporting companies in the green economy, that we wanted to do something to give back to the community of Glens Falls, and coming up with that art exhibit where young folks could come out with their parents and write expressions of hope on a public blackboard. We got over 50 people that came out to that event.
So I pride myself in being able to work with organizations and help them find creative and cost-effective solutions to help them with their recruiting needs so they can ultimately grow their business and be successful.
Well, you're successful. Your company is successful, placing, according to my notes, more than 4,000 professionals with over 400 different companies.
That is
right?
correct. Yep.
Wow.
And that's locally and nationally.
What is your opinion on crypto?
That's a really good question. I've gotten that question a lot recently, just because of the hype around it. Bitcoin, I don't know, I think the last time I looked was floating around 55, 57,000, something like that.
That's about right.
I stay away from it. It's very risky.
I have 2 guests today on the Bo Knows Who is Changing the World podcast. Lisa Strauss-Lawrence, she is a workforce. What was your title exactly, Lisa? What is that?
Well, right now I'm president of Go Career Compass, but the fact is I'm a workforce development specialist.
Okay. And we also have Michael Adamson, who is an intern.
Also being able to add this to my resume, it's great. And it's also like making sure that I stay on top of the position that I applied for and the position that I'm in, make sure I'm doing the best that I can.
It's literally a 2-page checklist of the 25 things that givers do and the 25 things that takers do, their deeds. And when you go through the list and you look, we're not grading people, we're grading their deeds. There's a distinction.
Yes, there is.
We're discerning and we're teaching people how to discern.
This is next level stuff.
It really is.
EA, this is next level stuff. You take Gary Vee, who I respect immensely, and
me too,
build on top of that.
We sell everything. We've sold over 1,000 businesses in pretty much every vertical you can imagine.
Okay.
So we're an industry agnostic firm. We sell e-commerce, we sell SaaS, we sell manufacturing, distribution, healthcare, retail, brick and mortar. You name it, we sell it.
Oh, wow. How long? I mean, this is your life, right? I mean, this is your passion to do this?
This is my passion. I own multiple companies. So at any given time, I own 5 to 10 businesses that I'm actually building to sell myself.
Okay.
But entrepreneurship is my passion.
And it's always about the audience. So when we're saying, what if I screw up? What will they think of me? Everything is me focused as opposed to audience centric.
Mm-hmm.
And if we make it about the audience, is this head game? Maybe a little bit. But when we do create a presentation, it's with the audience in mind, not us in mind. It's what they're going to take away, what they want and need to know, as opposed to how I'm doing it and what they're thinking of me. So that gives us greater opportunity to engage.
The original, I guess, the crux of my business is making people laugh. If I could, do that for a job, and then I'm there.
Yes.
Make people happy, right?
Yeah. I mean, happiness is laughing. And happiness it helps you live longer. I mean, there are studies that say that, right?
Yeah.
So you got a great job, man.
So exactly. Thinking about that, like you had said, I never really put the thought behind it on how that helps people, helps them with stress, and helps them, get the brain dust or whatever you'd like to say. It's so many important things that games do, and I don't think people really think about it until they're doing it. So in some ways, I think that I like to trick people into holistic health or better health.
I think the model that's so essential in effective leadership now, and that is servant leadership,
And basically that means that you flip the pyramid. Instead of the leader thinking that person's the know-all and everybody's serving him or her, it's flipping that and finding ways the leader that you're serving and developing your team members as leaders. And when you develop other leaders, that's when I think you have the most powerful team.
And we're talking about a day of healthy eating. What does it really look like? I mean, how does your day start in the morning? We'll start with Diana. How does your day start in the morning when you get up?
Right away, I have a lot to do first thing in the morning. I have meetings at 7 a.m. Can you imagine? So what do? I have to get a good start to my day. I have a shake. I have a thing called a life shake, and I do it. I've tried other ways to do it. When I drink the shake in the morning, it's lighter, it's more filling. I just have more energy.
Plain Greek yogurt and frozen berries, unsweetened berries, no sugar added berries. Mix them together, put them in a little cooler.
What makes a good leader, a good manager, a good leader of people? What do you think is the qualities that would make somebody as effective as they can be?
Well, there's many different things, but if I had to focus on a few, the very first thing is the ability to create a vision for the future that is compelling, that you can participate in, and that is believable. It can't be just simple and boring. It's got to be believable, but perhaps on the far edge of believable. Mm-hmm. It's a stretch. So the very first thing you're probably responsible for is creating that vision. Yeah. But along the way, you're also responsible for creating all the things that allow for the well-being of your crew, of your team. And so that goes into everything, like even psychological safety.
Right.
Psychological safety, that you will be able to participate in this without being attacked, without having your ego bruised. A little bit of bruising is okay, but not if it happens every single day and the boss is, taking a lot of joy and revelry in that.
Oh, I've seen that. This concept of love and money. Now, money is the cause of divorce. That's a simple thing to say, but that's what it is, right?
That is. In fact, based on what ever study you look at, it's either the number one or number two cause.
Why? Well, basic question, why?
Basic answer, there's a lot of emotion wrapped up in money. There's a lot of emotion. There's history, there's emotion, there's feelings, desires, dreams, everything's wrapped up in it.
And in the book, Chris, we go through, we've created 7 money personality types. So sometimes in a relationship, you're very different money personality types. And then in the second chapter, we talk about financial backgrounds. And as Molly mentioned, you could have very different backgrounds around money, which can cause some conflict.
But if you look at the word kindergarten is a German word that means children's garden. Mm-hmm. And if you go back into the origins, and I think it was in the 1600s somewhere, Germany needed both parents in the factories, needed both parents working. So they're like, how can we do that? They have families to take care of. So they decided to take children into the children's garden and start taking care of them. And they realized now we've got both parents in the factories and working. Oh, and if we teach the children to become our next workers, we could educate them. And that's where the schools really became what they are today. And that's why you don't get financial education. You get, unless you go to a prestigious school, which still doesn't teach how to handle finances and stuff. Mm-hmm. But school was set up to teach the next generation of workforce. And that's why you don't see entrepreneurs.
Wow. That's the deepest I've ever heard that. That's amazing. Kindergarten came from Germany, the Germans.
Yeah, children's garden.
Children's garden. Teach them to work. Well, no wonder so many people are frustrated with their lives. And no wonder so many people say, how many people say TGIF? They can't stand what happens during the week.
Right.
And that's a bad mindset, I think.
Yeah, and you look at even what was the main thing in schools in the beginning, especially you were taught a trade.
Yeah.
What are you going to be? Yeah, you're going to be a mechanic. You're going to be a welder. You're going to be, ladies, home economics, because you're going to be the woman that takes care of the home.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Right? Take a look at all of it.
Look at those stereotypes. This is where they all came from. Holy crap. I've been enlightened today.
I choose to live my life, my true nature and purpose. I choose to live my true nature and purpose. Another one is I choose to be the predominant creative force in my life. I choose to be that predominant creative force. I choose to live a life I love, right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
I choose to be healthy and vital.